An assistant police chief, temporarily serving as the primary chief, appeared in court to have his criminal past removed from his record. And as our investigative reporter Rob LaPro reports, the case involves a guilty plea of with a minor.
Well, for the case and charges, I paid for that 27 years ago. I paid my debt to society, and I won't be done with it.
And what are those charges?
I'll let you get the court records on it.
So do you think that they're serious at all?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Good morning, Moreauville Police Department.
Good morning. I'm looking to speak to Assistant Chief Lee. I am recording this call just for my records.
Okay, he's not here right now.
He's not. Okay. Is he perhaps, do you know, in court trying to hide his with a child charge from the public, or is he just on the road?
I cannot discuss that over the phone. Thank you.
How do you feel working for someone with that? Oh, good evening, and today's story is one that will shock you. But will it shock you that much by the outrageousness of normal police standards? We have an assistant police chief who's now an acting police chief. His job is to protect, support, and defend not only just the Constitution of these United States of America, but his community, and it's sometimes the most vulnerable members of his community. So it would shock, surprise, and outrage you that this man has a criminal past, but not the normal misdemeanors that we sometimes explore with police officers. This police officer has a certain predilection towards younger members of our society. In 1998, he was arrested after a totally inappropriate relationship that he forced upon a very young person. And now he's seeking the highest job in his respective land. But the biggest part of this story is his own outrage. The outrage that he has that this charge ever came to light. According to him, he paid his debt to society, and everyone else should just get over it. And the charges, he said, well, they weren't that big of a deal to begin with. Let's get into it.
New from our investigative team, an assistant police chief, temporarily serving as the primary chief, appeared in court to have his criminal past removed from his record. And as our investigative reporter Rob LaPro reports, the case involves a guilty plea of with a minor, something that could bar him from honoring his pledge to the badge.
No comment at all at this moment.
So you don't want to comment on the charges or the case itself?
Well, for the case and charges, I paid for that 27 years ago. I paid my debt to society, and I won't be done with it.
He just wants to be done with it. Totally understandable. Everyone's blowing this way out of proportion. My biggest question here, and I hope this question is echoing through the voices at home, how does someone with that type of heinous charge get to be a cop to begin with? Here's an explanation for you.
On a typical Tuesday at the Avoyelles District Court, it was anything but that for this assistant police chief, serving the town of Moreauville. In February, Moreauville announced the then chief, Nick Ducote, was resigning from his position, and that Assistant Chief Craig Lee would step in to fill the gap while they search for a new acting chief. But Chief Craig Lee has a past on the other side of the badge. Back in January 1998, Lee pled guilty to having with the minor. He was 26 at the time. And what are those charges?
I'll let you get the court records on it.
So do you think that they're serious at all?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
This is an interesting area that I'd like to explore. If the current acting chief of police, the top law enforcer in the land, thinks that doing what he did to a kid wasn't a big deal, then what crimes actually are a big deal when it relates to him being a police officer? Obviously, as a police officer, he must have a predilection to avoid cases involving child abuse because he thinks that's not a big deal. So what crime is a big deal in Moreauville? Is it unaliving somebody? Is it assault and battery? I mean, what is a big deal? Aside from that, obviously, I'm going to guess right now that applications to become police officers in Moreauville from convicted felons must be surging. Because if you can get a job being the chief of police doing what this guy did, well, if you have a bunch of misdemeanor or lower grade felonies, you must be a shoo-in for the job.
Court records KOB obtained show he was supposed to serve 3 years in prison, but that was lowered to 2 years of supervised probation. A majority of his case is still sealed, but the docket history shows the crime was eventually expunged from his record, but later challenged by the Louisiana Bureau of Investigation. Tuesday morning, Lee appeared in district court to fight back, but backing down the state lawyers in the courtroom, pulling his expungement request.
Do you have any plans to bring the expulsion case again?
Yes,
To expel the cases?
Yes, I do.
Were you aware that LSP were coming?
No, I wasn't.
Before our cameras began rolling, we questioned Lee on if those charges affected his duties as an officer of the law. He told us he could run checks on license plates, but could not access criminal records or perform background checks. Our sources close to the matter confirmed that claim. But when our cameras were turned on him,
Do those charges affect your public duties?
No comment.
No comment on how they affect your duties?
No comment at all.
we headed to Moreauville Town Hall to question Mayor Beryl Holmes on the decision to appoint Lee as interim chief. We could not get her on camera, but she responded saying she was aware of the case in itself, but would not comment past that, deferring us to Avoyelles District Attorney Charles Riddle. Riddle tells us Mayor Holmes was aware of the charges against Lee, but she had no intentions of ever promoting him to a permanent role as acting police chief.
What do you expect of the town when this eventually becomes public?
I don't know. We're going to talk about that whenever I get back. Appreciate it. Thank you.
In Avoyelles, Rob LaPearl, KALB.
Right now, Craig Lee is still on the force as both Moreauville's interim acting chief and assistant chief. We'll keep you posted as his case develops.
As you can imagine, this whole thing is just confusing. How did he get to be a cop in the first place? And why does he seem so offended that the Louisiana Bureau of Investigations is wanting to remove his expungement? In a landmark move, the state actually does the right thing. So I wanted to call Moreauville myself and see if I could get this new chief on the line.
Good morning, Moreauville Police Department.
Good morning. I'm looking to speak to Assistant Chief Lee. I am recording this call just for my records.
Okay, he's not here right now.
He's not. Okay. Is he perhaps, do you know, in court trying to hide his with a child charge from the public, or is he just on the road?
I cannot discuss that over the phone. Thank you.
How do you feel working for someone with that? Oh. Well, there you have it. They can't discuss it. Well, I guess the assistant chief, now acting chief, is going to have to get over that, because a lot of people want to discuss it, and there's a lot of conversation to be had. Until next time, that's the reason I stopped you today.